Hi everyone, it's Laura here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to create a clean looking floral card using alcohol markers and stamps by Studio Katia. The stamp set I am using today is the Studio Katia You're So Sweet stamp set. This is new with the September 2018 release, and actually the card I'll be showing you today is part of a blog hop to celebrate this release, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a few minutes. To start off this card, I stamped the images from the You're So Sweet stamp set on some Nina Solar White 110 pounds cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Here I will be showing you the coloring just for one of the images, but I used basically the same techniques and the same markers to color them all. For today's coloring, I will be using Copic markers and Spectrum Noir markers, and I will be using a technique which is called glazing, which basically consists in adding a flat layer of color on top of a previously colored image, but we'll get to that later. For now, what I am doing is I am adding some shading with my cool gray Copic markers. So I started with what will be my mid-tone color, which is the C3 marker, so these are cool grays, and I started adding shading and texture using some flicking motion. And after that I am coming in with my darkest marker, which is the C7, and I am going over those same areas without extending the shading quite as far. And finally, I am adding some more flicks with my lightest marker, which is the C1, and covering the whole area. And here is where I will be actually doing my glazing. So I took an RV0 marker and a BV0 marker, and again using flicking motions, I am going over the entire area, and this will add some interest and some richness and color depth. I will be repeating the same steps to color the flower at the top of the image, and while I'm doing that, I wanted to let you know that this card and this video are part of a blog hop to celebrate Studio Katia's Fall 2018 release. Studio Katia is giving away two $50 gift certificates to the Studio Katia store on each day of the hop, which means you have 4 chances to win. And the winners will be randomly selected among all the comments left on all the blogs in the hop. So for all the information and to hop along, visit the blog post that you will find linked in the description box down below. And on top of these 4 $50 gift certificates that you can win in the blog hop, there is another giveaway on my Instagram profile, and there you can enter for your chance to win one $25 gift certificate to the Studio Katia store. So make sure to visit my blog, which will be linked in the description box here on YouTube, for all the details about the blog hop and this Instagram giveaway. Once I was done coloring the flowers, I moved on to the leaves and the stems, and for that I am using my Spectrum Noir markers, as my Copic color collection is still a little bit small. And even in this case, I am trying to build up shading and texture by adding flicking motions I'm using 3 different shades, so this would be the CG4, the CG2 and the CG1 markers. At this point, I also realized that I had forgotten one petal there on the top, so I quickly colored that in. And then I used the coordinating dies to this stamp set and my CZ Sidekick machine to die cut the image. Off camera, I also colored and die cut all the other flowers and the leaves in the set, and then I moved on to building my card base. For that, I die cut 2 panels. The first one is an A2 sized white cardstock panel that I cut with the Darling Ribbon and Frames die set. And for the second panel, I used this rectangular die over here as well as this oval die here to cut a window. And this oval die not only cuts the window with the dotted detail, but also cuts a little frame that I will be using for some added interest. And these last two dies that I showed you are from the newly released Dotted Pattern Set 3 die set by Studio Katia. And now everything is ready and I can actually go ahead and assemble my card. I coated the back of this window panel with double-sided adhesive. I am removing the backing of the adhesive and gluing this on top of my card base. For this very thin frame over here, I decided to use the new Studio Katia glue because this has quite a fine tip applicator and I thought it would be easier to use that. I showed this glue already in a previous video. I will link it here for you in case you want to watch that too. But basically you can see I am adding just small dabs of glue and then I'm sort of drying off the excess with my fingers. And now I can go ahead and actually adhere that inside my oval opening. I am now arranging my flowers on the front of my card and I will be using again the Studio Katia glue to glue them down to my card front. And I had already done this in advance and taken a picture of the floral arrangement with my phone so that I can have the picture here next to me on my work surface and I can reproduce the arrangement almost exactly. Once I have all the flowers positioned as I want them, I can go ahead and press them down. And then I can move on and actually stamp my sentiment. I am using my Mini Misty and I picked the sentiment that reads "just because" so that I can use this card for any occasion. I mounted my card on a top folding A2 card base and now I am adding some final touches using the Studio Katia Majestic Confetti. I laid them down on my card front and once I found an arrangement that I was happy with, I used my jewel picker and the Studio Katia glue to adhere them to my card base. And that finished off my card. And here you can see how this majestic confetti had some nice sparkle without adding too much dimension on this card. And that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can visit my blog for the full list of supplies and I'll catch you guys soon with the next one. Ciao!